guys out there, right from Powerwolf, you listen to the Dan Shan Show at Hard Rock Hell Radio.
Hey Falk, how are you, mate?
I'm super happy. I'm very good. It's 1 week left to release for the Call of the Wild album, for our 8th album.
Yeah.
And I am also excited.
Of course.
Always for every release. And yeah, but I'm feeling great.
Falk, I've got to stop you there, because before we go into the music, you are the first German I've spoken to since we beat you in the Euros.
Yeah. I just forgot that.
Selective memory, mate.
But
Memory.
Yeah, it is. But to be honest, you deserved it.
Thank
it was we played so bad, really, and you deserved it. The last penalty, we have to talk about it versus Denmark, but it's a different topic.
Don't ruin it. Don't ruin it for me. Will you be watching? Will you be watching our historic final this Sunday?
Yes, I was watching it, and it was. I guess, to be honest, not kidding. You deserve the title after 55 years. It's football's coming home.
I so appreciate it.
I mean it.
I so appreciate it. Thank you so much. Right then, onto the music. So you're about to release your new album, Call of the Wild. It's an awesome album. Are you excited to be getting it out?
Absolutely. I guess we wrote a lot of really strong and powerful songs, and in a typical powerful style with our trademarks and a lot of sing-alongs, and I'm super happy. And we released already these 2 videos with Dancing with the Dead and Beats of Shebodan, and people were super happy with that, and the reactions were great. And yeah, but it's always the same feeling, because I'm so excited when we can release a new album, and I want to read the reactions. I want to hear the reactions by the fans, because we didn't have any reactions for the last 1.5 years about this COVID situation, and I really need some response. Some reactions from the fans.
So how are you evolving through each album? How is the band growing in this aspect? Because you said that on the Sacrament of Sin, the album was more diverse. Has this gone another step further, do you think?
I would say Call of the Wild is the next step of the Sacrament of Sin album, and I would say this is a big step, because the Sacrament of Sin album showed us that we can enlarge our horizons and our sound, and we love this previous album as well as we did, of course, as we do with Call of the Wild. But Sacrament of Sin encouraged us to dare even more, to write, for example, another ballad with Alive or Undead, or to use some Celtic instruments in Blood for Blood.
Yeah.
And to have an approach with Dancing with the Dead with this little bit pop elements and dancing elements on it. And that shows that we can do it, because we love it and people love it, and I don't know, it's I'm super happy with the result, and you can hear it on Call of the Wild. Yeah,
absolutely. So what implications did COVID have to the recording or the writing for this album, if any?
You mean the recording, or you mean the process in total?
Did COVID have any implications towards it?
No, not so many, because the plan was already to start with the songwriting just after our tour in South America. We did in March last year with Amon Amarth.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we had to cancel only 3 shows, and we got the very last tickets from Mexico City to Germany. That was really tough to get a ticket.
I'm sure.
And then we started with the songwriting. But to be honest, in my impression at this time was like that is a short situation, not a situation which is longer, like 1.5 years, or even existing nowadays. You know, My impression was at this time we can play the summer festivals.
Yeah,
I was wrong, obvious.
Yeah.
But after that, we had this feeling, this now more than ever feeling, to write new songs, to focus on doing that, because that is the only thing we can do in this time. And we want to put all of the power we have in the new songs, because we want to give the people this power back, as we do on live shows. We want to do it in the songs. So the situation was already planned. There was no effects from the COVID situation. But the thing was, or the most difficult thing was traveling.
Right.
because we recorded in the Netherlands, and in first place we wanted to record stuff in Sweden.
Yeah.
Then we changed, and then just 1 day or 2 days before starting the recordings, there was like a really strong travel restriction to the Netherlands. That was really strange.
Yeah,
Really.
I bet.
Not to travel to the Netherlands. It is to our tribe, with border control and testing and everything.
Yeah.
But in the end, we did it. There was no time changing. There was no deadlines. We made it just with everything, and so we are happy that we could do it. Yeah.
So tell me some themes behind some of the tracks on this album. Obviously the mythology, legend, etc. And I want to ask about the religious themes. What angle are you going in at when you're singing about it? Are you taking a swipe at religion?
It is always this combination between religion topics or the historical aspects of religion and mythology. For example, the song Beast of Jebodan.
I was going to ask you about that. He doesn't sound like a nice character, this beast.
This beast, yeah, absolutely. And we had this video also for that. And this song is about a French legend from the 18th century in the south of France. And this region was called Gévaudan. And the legendary beast killed around 100 people. That is the mythology.
Wow.
This beast was never caught and whatever. And on the other hand side, the clericals came up and told the people, this is the vengeance of God, or he sent these wild animals to punish the sins of mankind, and that is the historical aspects, this combination between religious aspects and mythology.
Yeah.
And both things have one thing in common, that it's to believe in something, because no one can explain this situation, what is there. And I love to deal with that. Even we had this song Blood for Blood, as I said. This is the song refers to the Irish fowl, like the Irish creature.
Yeah.
Which in many legends was seen as a guardian spirit for children or the wounded, even a completely different approach. And that's typically for heavy metal, I would say, and typically for Powerwolf. And we really like to write about that. And that's the story behind. And it's not a concept album, we have different stories about that, but it's not a whole concept to write only about this aspect. So.
I've got to ask, who researches these topics? Is it a collective thing? Are you all interested in it? Or is it just one member that loves these legends and these myths?
I would say the main part of that is from Matthew Crayworth. But we are all interested in doing something like that. For me personally, I'm really interested in this historical aspects of religion.
Yeah.
Not in this religion belief things, something like that, more in this historical approach, like the Crusades and something like that. And you can find a lot of topics and a lot of moments you can write about. And
fascinating. So I'm interested in that exact same thing. Yeah, fascinating.
Yeah, and I was growing up as a Catholic boy in a small village in southwest of Germany, and was like, I always felt this liturgy in the Catholic Church a little bit scary.
Yeah.
Even the church organ, it was like, wow, what's that? What's that instrument? It's scary.
It is
so nice.
It is.
and the priest told me, you have these sins, and you're living not only for this world, and you are a sinner. That was always this education thing, always a little bit negative touch,
Lovely.
Not a positive connotation. And Power is different. We want to deliver, or we want to change it a little bit in a good feeling. Metal is religion, a good atmosphere, a good feeling to go strong, to have a good time, to even in difficult times you can handle it and something like that. You know.
Yeah, of course.
Not this scary thing as I got when I went up.
Yeah,
exactly.
So, I mean, we've talked about the songs that you've written as a band, and incidentally, you had a covers album called Nostrum, which was your favourite covers, that you were recording. What was your favourite to do, and why did you choose those tracks?
For me, especially, it was Sabotage.
Really, yeah.
Because I like this approach of the piano and the pronunciation of the singer, and I choose Edge of Thorns, and was. The singer was Zachary Stevens, and not John Oliver. It also had this discussion about John Oliver and Zach, and I prefer Zach, okay? But that shows I said it. It's okay. I know it's out. I'm a Zachary fan. But that shows, this album you've mentioned, that shows that we have roots in heavy metal, you know?
Yeah.
That shows that we grew up with Sabbath Church, with Iron Maiden.
Yeah.
And we choose on this cover album, we choose, for example, not the typical songs. You know, we choose different songs. Like, for example, Gary Moore. Will Van Helden, our drummer, came up with the idea for Gary Moore. And if you listen to Gary Moore, it's not typical heavy metal, but there are the roots of heavy metal in it. And that's it. And we wanted to show people our own roots, what we really like to listen to as we was young boys or whatever. And Iron Maiden is quite obvious. But there are other bands like Judas Priest and
yeah. So tell me about your organ. Now I'm talking about the musical organ, that is, right? So that go-to church organ you use on albums, is it a genuine church organ? How the hell do you mic that up to record it?
We're getting used to it because we did it for the last almost always in a small village in France.
Is it difficult to do?
I only have to play because I'm not a recording guy, but it's difficult to record it with different microphones in the room nearby the pipes. And you need different microphone settings because we have this reverb sound in this church. And it's always a hard topic and hard thing to do it in a mix.
I bet.
So it's a little bit strange. We could do it in a more easy way to use some samples. But we consider us as a band with entertainment factors, and so we also do it in a recording situation. But we did it always at the same place, and we know this place for years now, and then it's getting easier.
The church aren't offended about the themes that you write about?
No, because to be honest, we never had some problems with that. In the last couple of years, we even recorded a choir in a real church. We did our videos in a church, and we are always telling people what we are doing. Because they should know it.
Of course.
and they understand that we are not fanatics or evil or bad people. We are good persons, and we are making music with some religious topics. But hey,
it's good.
I wouldn't destroy in a church organ.
No, you're not going to burn it down.
Too expensive to pay.
Now, listen, confession time from me, right? I knew of you, but didn't know a lot about you, right? So my 12-year-old son, Brody, who is a massive metalhead and fan of you guys, said one day, Dad, you need to listen to more Powerwolf. I'm so glad he did. You know, I'm a full convert now. And he's sat right here with me. He wants to say hello to you. Is that all right?
Yes, you can say hello.
Hello.
Oh, hey, nice to meet you.
Yeah, nice to meet you too, mate.
You like our music. That's nice to hear.
He's sat here in his Powerwolf t-shirt.
Listen to the new album. Great album.
I already told you guys that I need these reactions about your new album because I love to hear when people saying we love me on your new songs.
We love it.
Because we were living like in a cave or something like that for this 1.5 years.
Yeah.
So if you guys love this new album,
good feedback.
My day's even getting better and better.
It's good feedback. Now, I don't think you get a more powerful, impactful name than Powerwolf. Who came up with it?
With the band name, you mean?
Yeah.
Or
I mean, you don't get a bigger name, do you? It's a crazily powerful name.
It is. Because when we were starting with Powerwolf, that was like, the idea was like, it was there. And then I guess Matthew said we should call us, the name should be Powerwolf.
Yeah.
And everyone was like, yes, power is good for heavy metal. Wolf, a strong animal, stands perfect for our kind of music.
Absolutely.
And then Powerwolf together, and you can scream it. Powerwolf. That's you have to have it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course. That's cool.
And I'm super happy. And then I recognized after the last years, a lot of bands have something in the band name with Wolf.
I've noticed.
And I saw shirts on H&M, Hennes and Mauritz. I don't know, is it H&M? Is it the expression? With Wolf on shirts, and everywhere was a wolf. It was like, what's going on in the world? Everyone loves Wolf.
Love a Wolf.
Perhaps we are the starting point for that.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Cool. That's cool. Now your video,
and even
go on.
and even you can pronounce it in German. You can say Powerwolf.
Yeah.
It's perfect. German. Or you can pronounce it in English, Powerwolf.
Simple. Your videos never disappoint. You know, do you enjoy getting into that moment? Is it similar to the Falk that takes the stage in front of thousands, or a different Falk because, you know, you're surrounded by cameras and not fans?
I like to play with cameras.
Yeah.
It's a completely different approach to do video comparing to a live situation.
Yeah.
But you have this, to be honest, I like this red light on thing, you know, and now it's recording and action, please. And the director is always to say action.
Yeah.
It's very important for
Switch
me.
on.
And I like to act a little bit with Attila in front of the camera, like I did in Dancing with the Dead, like I did, for example, in the Demons Are Girls Best Friend video with Alyssa as well.
Yeah.
From Arch Enemy.
Of course.
And this part in Beast of Jeopardan, I gave Attila, he was the Jesus, I gave him to drink, something to drink. And
full on acting.
this kind of sidekick in this videos, and I really love to do it. Yeah, but to be honest, if I had the choice, what would you like to do more? Play live or making a video? I would choose the live situation.
Of course, absolutely. Now, talking about live, it's a perfect segue. That you've got an extensive European tour booked for October. You know, the heavy metal masses, you like to say. There's some great venues, including the legendary Roundhouse in London. How excited are you to be getting out and playing?
Super excited.
Yeah, I can tell. I can hear in your voice.
We consider us as a live band. We consider us as an entertaining band. And I guess there's nothing more excited than a room full of people doing the same thing. I call it like a pilgrimage or something like that. You know, and for example, you've mentioned the Roundhouse. It's an awesome venue.
Amazing venue.
And I really like to do it. The last time when we played at Coco in London, I was out there for some drinks or some food, and I saw people queuing in front of this beautiful venue.
It's amazing. Camden's great.
And that's amazing. Yeah, it's amazing. And people were standing nearby the tour bus and everything. And I like to be in London. I like to be in UK. It's that is a great feeling, you know, just this feeling before the show. You know, and people were waiting and as exciting as the band is, and you know, you can feel it in the air.
You've actually said not only do the band entertain the audience, but the audience entertains the band, and that's an awesome way of looking at it.
That's the best situation you can have as a band. Yeah, and when we do it, we try to do our best on stage, and then, for example, people or the fans are doing something we never expected. I don't know, they kneel down, for example, for the song Lupus Dei, and then stand up with bam. It's such a great feeling on stage. It's really goosebump, and wow, I love this.
Obviously the ticket sales must be going well. Do you think people are nervous to buy tickets at the moment, or are you noticing that people are more thirsty now than ever before to see shows?
It's a good question. I guess people are not sure if it will take place in the end. That's a little bit that thing that people are quite, I don't know, should I buy a ticket or not feeling. On the other hand, for example, we announced this Bullhead City Festival here in Germany on the Holy Ground, the Wacken Festival. And the pre-sale starts yesterday, and people were buying it a lot. And as well in London, people were buying tickets. So the impression or the feeling for the people is, we want to attend this show. We want to have a ticket, and I don't want to miss it. So people are buying tickets and should be fast, because it's selling fast. And even this, you've mentioned this European Championship thing with, I don't know.
Yeah, there's fans in the crowd. Crazy.
A lot of people are there. And then it should be also possible for heavy metal music. That's a thing. And I'm optimistic person, and I want to stay optimistic, and it will take place. I'm quite sure.
So what new tracks are you looking forward to playing live?
Beast of Jeopardan.
Yeah.
Dance with the Dead, obvious. I would say Blood for Blood.
Yeah.
Faster Than the Flame could also be a live song. I would like to play Glaubenskraft as well.
Yeah.
Power of Belief in translation. It's hard to choose, because we have a lot of songs which could be played live.
Yeah.
But we want to have a mixture. Personally, I don't like to play only new songs and not the older songs. You have you have to have a good mix between new songs and your hits. Obviously, we play "We Drink Your Blood."
Absolutely,
Obviously, we play "Resurrection by Erection" and "Where Is Ophamania." That is a must song. You have to play it.
I mean, obviously not playing shows for a while. Do you ever get nervous, or are there any pre-show rituals that you guys go through?
I will be nervous so much. I promise. To be honest, I'm always nervous when I go on stage, but I was used to do it because we toured so much shows. We did so much shows for the last tour. We are really touring again and again, and now I have a break for over 1.5 years. I will be super nervous. But I'm quite sure when I'm on stage and the first tone starts,
you'll be good.
And the first song starts, I'm good, I'm fine. Right. And then I will say cheers to the audience. Normally I don't drink on stage, but in this case, I will do it. And I will say cheers and play, and then everything is good.
Right, sticking with a tour, right? A wolf can eat up to 9 kilograms of food in one day, right? So you get around the world a lot. When touring, what food or drink do you love from one particular country that's like, great, we're going to the UK for fish and chips, or we're in Mexico for street tacos, or whiskey in Scotland?
Yeah, whiskey in Scotland is a good point.
Yeah, you can choose your own.
Whiskey. We have even our own Powerwolf whiskey from Scotland.
Really?
It's there were only 250 bottles.
Really?
Whiskey, really expensive stuff, really good stuff.
Yeah. It can't really be Scotland, though.
Personally,
the places you go to in the world must be somewhere a bit more exotic than Scotland.
It's a bit. But personally, I prefer to drink gin.
Oh yeah.
Not too much because it's the headache day after is quite very tough. But to be honest, I like to drink beer when I'm on tour, and I really like to drink the typical beer for the city.
Yeah,
I don't want to have the beer which is like in everywhere world like Heineken. No.
I know what you mean. I'm the same.
It even stands in our rider. Please, we prefer your local beer.
You might get some crap there.
Could be, but then I know that
it's a lottery. It's a gamble. It could ruin your night.
There are a lot of there's this nice beer app. You can use it, and you can.
Yeah, I think I've got it.
You can beer tasting stuff. That's really like to be on tour. Not only drinking beer, obvious, but to enjoy different food, meet different people, and different approach, even different sing-alongs.
Yeah.
For example, when you're playing in Spain, where they're more singing the guitar with, and people in UK. Singing more this football stadium thing. It's exactly, and I love it.
Yeah. So, what does the future hold for Powerwolf, Falk? World domination?
I don't need the world domination, but to be honest, I'm a guy. I'm thankful and grateful for that what I have. And if I'm able to do it for the next 20 years, I'm super happy.
Great.
If we are growing, if we get more fans and people, I'm completely fine with that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, Falk, thanks so much for joining me today. Good luck with the album, and we'll see you on tour very soon.
Thank you. You're welcome.